Hello folks, I hope you all are fine. Well, today we are going to continue with our science series, which is chapter 1, the living world. And the topic we are going to study today is taxonomical aids. So now you guys know what is taxonomical, right? Because we've already studied it. Aids. What does this aids mean? Now remember, the aids, which is a disease, and this aids are quite different with each other. Okay, this aids means, let's just say to help in a very normal word, or to support, right? To support. To support what? To support taxonomy. Okay, the classification in very common word, right? How this study of plants, animals, all these things are going to help or to support in the classification system. Okay, that is what we are going to know about in this particular topic. So let's just see how you can classify a thing. So we know one thing, whenever there is a identification, okay, you go by this process, which is identification. Then there is naming procedure or nomenclature, and then there is classification. Okay, and all of three are included in the systematics. These are the things that we know now. Okay, I do not have to explain you these things because we have already studied in much detail in our previous videos. So, why do you think this classification of, let's just say, plants or animals or any organism, for example, microorganisms, right, are important? I mean, of course, this plant, animal and microorganisms identification and then naming and then classification is going to help you. Okay, the study about all of this, plant, animal and the identification is going to help you for the classification system. Okay, but what this classification is going to help you? I mean, of course, you have this chapter in biology. Okay, you are studying that. There should be a purpose because see, we humans are really very, I would say, selfish people, okay? Because we are only studying this and we are going to study much more about this because it is some of our use. If it does not have any use for us, we won't even look after them, or look to them. Okay, we'll just walk by. We are so much interested in this identification, this characteristic of them, this naming process, this taxonomy, the classification is because this classification, okay, the study of this is going to help you to classify things, and that classification is going to help you in many things and helping us in many things even right now. For example, let's just say study of plant. After you classify, all these things are going to help you in agriculture, right? Of course. Why and how? Okay, wait a minute. Agriculture. Tell me how and why. Okay, so for example, you have this plant right here, right now. Okay, you see the characteristic, you identify them, study on them, like thoroughly do the study on them. And then you match it with all the data you already have, and you find, well, it is very much like 70% similar to this plant which I have already studied. So this may have a same family. Because this was a medicine, this could also be a medicine. You got the information because of that study, right? And that information is going to help you. How? You got to know that this also could be a medicine. Then you are going to study that is it medicine or not in the laboratory. And then if it is, you can use it in an industrial purpose. Yes. This is how whole thing goes. Okay. Now, Also, this plant are also going to help you in, let's just say, in forestry, right? Okay, so again, the kind of similar thing, that which plant is which, either it is in a medical use or it is in a use in the food industry. Okay, all these things are going to help you for, classification, and then that classification is going to help in these things. Animal, let's just say, how they are going to help you. So you go to your friend's party and then you have this really cool leather jacket. Where does that leather comes from? Or you have this really cool, you just a belt or shoes, and you just bluff about that, this is a pure leather, or the ladies right here, you have this purse and you say, oh, pure leather. From where this pure leather has come? Yes, from some kind of animals, okay? And that leather goes to industry, okay? And then there is a jacket and then a high maintenance price labeled is on it, and then they'll sell it to you, right? So on an industrial level, they are also helping. Even microorganism, okay, you find that some microorganism may have a medical use, right? They can release some antibiotic. You are going to use them and do the production of that antibiotic in bulk amount, okay? So all of this are going to be used in some way or another. Some of them are bioresources, right? You got to know all the things. Why? Because you have studied on this. Let's just say, for the classification or taxonomical aids, the first thing you have to do is the identification. Okay, let's just take an example of plant and animal, both. Okay, so what you are going to do here is you are going to collect the actual plant or animal species. This is an actual plant and actual animal. Okay, so actual plant or animal, we are talking about both together, so that's why. On an actual specimen, okay. So see, what you are going to do is you are going to store an actual real specimen. Can you see? This is an actual like plant. This is an animal, which is an like real animal. Okay. So what are you doing after storing them? You are going to gather all the information you have. Okay. Either on a field level, let's just say field level, and also in laboratories. So you are going to gather all the information in field and laboratories. What is the need of this? So the studies, okay, thoroughly, intensively, you are going to study these things. Field, for example, from what environment this plant is coming, what kind of soil they are growing in, what kind of temperature they are having. Laboratory studies, either it is a medical use or not, or food use or not. Same goes with animal, okay, what kind of environment they are staying in, what kind of use we can have of them. Of course, we, the selfish one, remember? Okay, so all the studies are because you gather all the information and then you store that information. Okay, and sometime with that information, sometime it is not enough for us. So with that information, we also stored the whole specimen. Yes, we do store the information and the specimen. And how we are going to store it? Like, you and I cannot decide that. Okay, so the biologist, thankfully, decides that how we should store it. There are some particular procedures, okay, and some of techniques which we use, and by that we store the specimens. Okay, for what use? Okay, for future perspective. I mean, why do we need to store them? Okay, so for future perspective or studies, for example, we even now can study about dinosaurs and know all the information. We have so much information on them. Dinosaurs are not alive anymore. How we are getting that information? Because the scientists have stored it. In fact, they've also stored some of a specimen. For example, like the skeleton of them. Okay. Or we know how their structure was, how they used to walk or stay. So if I get some kind of creature right now, okay, and I test all the characteristic about them and all the information about them, and then I like compare it with all the stored data I have, and I got to know, oh, very much similar, like 90% similar with the dinosaurs. They may have a same genus. Okay, so this much how helpful it is for us. Okay, same goes with plant. You can gather the information, name it, classify it. Okay, so for classification, you have to have the actual specimen in your hand. That is a prime source for any classification. Remember that. Then, can you see this is information you have? Okay, this box, all the information, you have stored it. And sometimes you store the specimen. For example, you can see here they have also stored the specimen, right? So this is how you do the identification and then classification. That classification, okay, is because of the help of the specimen we are having, plant or animal specimen. That classification is going to help us for agricultural level, forestry level, industrial level to find the bioresources, okay, and many more. We are going to study about some of this, like how you can store this plant and animal specimen. Okay, we are going to study about that in much detail in our next lectures for plant and animal both, dead and alive. Yeah. So this is all about the like kind of an overview for that and all about the taxonomical aids. I hope you got the lecture. Till then, thank you and bye bye.